have entered the realm of the truth. Mickey the truth. If you tell it, know what it is. If you clean, then clear your name. Whichever way it go, it'll definitely be the truth.
Yeah, they be like, who is this Mickey Truth girl? Who qualifies her to put a work on these people?
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mickey Truth, aka the Queen of Paperwork, and I am back with another video. As always, all information contained in this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. All information used in this video is per the Fair Use Act, and any conclusion that you draw is on you, not me. So let's get it. It's been a minute, but we are coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the murder of Takeoff. Okay. A lot of things has died down as far as the process with his murder case, which is against Patrick Clark. If you don't remember, it was also another person who was charged in relation to the incident that night, which was Cameron Joshua, aka Lil Cam. I decided to do an update video because it's been a minute since we actually done it. First and foremost, long live Takeoff. Let's get into what's going on with these two people. Let's start with Lil Cam. For those who don't remember, Lil Cam actually was picked up by the federal government for the gun charge, felony in possession of firearm. What's interesting with his situation is that it really wasn't much going on with his case at first, right? He has some rescheduling of hearings. However, back in August, an update was made on his federal case. Let's check it out. So it states here that the order for pre-sentence investigation and disclosure and sentencing dates. And it says defendant having been found guilty on count 1, a pre-sentence report is ordered. By October 12, 2023, the initial pre-sentence report must be disclosed to counsel. By October 24th, counsel must object and write into any facts that's used. November 7th, the probation officer must submit the judge the final pre-sentence report. And sentencing is set for November 16th. So a little over a year after the situation, Lil Cam will be sentenced in his federal case. Now, I did look around. I'm not even showing where he had a hearing to be found guilty, but nevertheless, it's there per that document. It also says here that back on August 11th, it was a hearing. However, the minute entry is sealed. Maybe that was where he was found guilty at. Not 100% sure. But nevertheless, the next thing after that is in fact the disclosure and sentencing date. The last thing that happened on October 10th is sealed also, but according to the document we just went over, that may be a rebuttal to the pre-sentencing report since the deadline was in fact October 10th. So let's take a look because again, he still had 2 charges open in Texas. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on with that. So if you don't recall, this particular case, and this loading, my bad, y'all, is unlawful carrying a weapon with felony conviction. It's currently active. Not sure if it's going to change since he has been found guilty on the federal case. If you recall, when I did the J. Prince Jr. case, remember his case eventually closed in Texas due to the prosecution on federal level. So these may close. Recently, 2 forms was filed. Let's take a look at what they are. And it's order on defendant's Expart Motion to provide funds for expert assistance. And if you recall, the first time we ever heard anything about this was on this case. However, it's done quite frequently where the state provides money for investigator services, for private investigators, things like that. So they're stating that it cannot exceed $2,500. Harris County approved rate at $90 per hour, pending further order, meaning they can always come back and request more. I've done a couple cases where that has happened. Another form that was filed, again, it looks like it's the same thing. So he has requested funds for assistance with his case. Next is a felony possession of a weapon, which again he has been indicted on. However, again, I'm pretty sure that might be dismissed due to him already being charged and found guilty on the federal level. Same forms was filed on this case. So with that, that is the update for Cameron Joshua, aka Lil Cam. He has been found guilty of a federal gun charge, will be sentenced in November, and currently his Texas cases are open. However, in my opinion, they will be dismissed once he is sentenced in the federal case. Now, let's move over to Patrick Clark. For those who are not aware, Patrick Clark is the accused murderer of Takeoff. Quite a couple forms have been filed on his behalf. And if you recall, I told y'all he had like the dream team working for him, okay? Because he had some heavy hitters. Per my research, I did a whole video on it. Now, I'm not going to go over each one. I'm going to go because a lot of them are just generic forms, which in any trial, they should be filing those motions. But I do want to go over a couple things that rose questions to me. The question has always been, why has no one been charged with attempted murder for the shootings of Cindy Lede and also Joshua Washington? To date, to my understanding, no one still hasn't been charged. But the question is this: why are they medical records being used on the murder case? If per the last update, he was only being charged with the murder of Takeoff. So if you take a look here, states motions for protective order. And it states the protective medical records related to medical treatment provided to Sidney Lede, which is the female victim at the shooting. So if he's not charged with a crime against her, why is her medical records even being used for the case? That's, I mean, to me, that's interesting because, like, is it something we don't know yet? Right? And it's not just her. The same thing is with Joshua Washington medical records. And as I stated before, Takeoff medical records also had a motion filed on it previously. So that just again brings that same question. Why wasn't anyone charged with those crimes against them? I don't know. Hopefully we find out soon. Next. So a motion in line number 4, right? And it states here that they respectfully request that the court instruct the prosecutor, attorney, and or his assistants and or his witnesses not to mention, allude, or refer to any manner to any prior conviction or alleged violation of the law by the defendant in this cause in the presence of the jury to determine the following: whether the conviction involves either a felony or a misdemeanor involving moral turpitude. And it continues. Now, again, I'm not going to go in detail because it's pretty self-explanatory. They don't want his past brought up at trial. And I'm alluding that it's going to be a trial because, again, they mentioned a jury, in the presence of a jury. So Patrick Clark previously was found not guilty, or not even not guilty. He wasn't indicted on the shooting because it was self-defense, like a year before the shooting. They don't want that brought up. Anything else that may have been in his past, they don't want it brought up. They don't want to, I guess, taint the jury mind about who he is. I'm not even gonna lie. This is the first case that I personally worked on for content that the defense is asking for that not to happen. Normally it's like, don't address certain. They were like, no, don't bring up none of his past. Okay. No, motion number 5 is this. If and in the event that the defendant is convicted in this case, the defendant requests and prays the court to instruct the state in the punishment stage of this trial and prove up only those instances of misconduct which have resulted in final conviction for a felony or a misdemeanor involving moral turpitude. Now, then it says the defendant prays that this proof be offered by legal and competent evidence, not by reading of a rap sheet, which is inadmissible evidence. So again, they want the details of whatever is going to be used to sentence him. They don't want to just say, oh, well, you had a shooting investigation in 2021, or you had a failure to yield, and they want it to be said, hey, this is what happened on this date. This is the reason. They don't want it to be tainted because, people say shooting investigation. Now you here for a murder that involves shooting. I mean, I can see exactly why they filed it, but nevertheless, hey, they're prepared either way it goes at this point from my view of it. All right, number 6 is a request. Let's see. The state not referred to, mention, infer, or otherwise attempt to introduce during any stage of this proceeding the following matters without first approaching the bench and obtaining outside the presence of the jury a ruling on admissibility of, number 1, any alleged confession or statement of the defendant. Number 2, the results of any search or seizures related to the prosecution in this case. Number 3, any evidence of prior conviction, arrest, or act of misconduct. Okay, so if y'all recall when we broke down the search warrant, allegedly Patrick Clark said some things about the weapons he had, said some things about, something, I can't even remember everything he said, but he said some things during his arrest. So that could be the statements or confessions they're referring to. The number 2, again, they found multiple guns on him, not the murder weapon though, but they found multiple guns on his person and in his vehicle. And then 3, again, he has been investigated for a shooting which resulted in self-defense. However, they don't want that brought up because, again, you're already on trial for a murder that involves shooting. All right, next is number 7, which is stating here, the defendant by and through defendant's attorney of record requests the court to instruct the prosecuting attorney, his staff, and any other state's witnesses in this case not to allude to, refer to, or in any way bring before the jury, whether as a panel or a jury selected to try this cause, any other following, and will show the court not to allow such testimony would be y'all know I can't say that word, to the rights of the defendant in the case in violation of the 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendments in the United States Constitution. Oh, that's a lot. Okay. What are you asking not to allude to? Oh, here we go. Any reference, either indirectly or directly, whether in opening statements or argument, possible fact that accused have been charged with or convicted of any offense. So basically, they're saying, so I'm telling you, this is great, really, right? It's great because they done found so many different motions and worded it so differently each time, but it means the same thing. Where they're like, yo, we're covering ourselves. So basically, it says the same thing. Yeah, it says the same thing as the last one. Furthermore, so it basically, this one is in regards to any other forensics. Or okay, they want the evidence, they want to review it. Also, again, they don't want no statements made by the defendant included. Same thing, they want to suppress it. We see that so many times. This is the Brady, like I said, is Yeah, I'm sorry. It's early in the morning. I'm over here getting ready for work, but they want all braiding material provided. They also want the prosecutor's character and reputation witness. They want a hearing for it. They want to know who is going to be the witnesses, who is going to be, speaking on behalf of his character, right? And that is what he is saying. Like, yo, I need to know. So with that being said, still as of right now, is no trial dates. And let me go over to the settings. So the next event is scheduled for October 26, 2023. But it doesn't say trial, it's just arraignment. So at this point, no date for a trial is scheduled. We just, I mean, it's a lot of motions being filed. Maybe it's almost that time. But with that being said, y'all know this is my very first case as a YouTube content creator. I'm going to see it through. So with that being said, long live Takeoff. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to pull up on your girl Mickey Truth. As always, go over to MickeyTruth.com and get you that merch. Because you know your girl stay with that work. So until next time, holla! You rappers ain't safe. No matter what you go through, do what you got to do and conquer the world.